Speak a little about the diversity of viewpoints among Black thinkers and intellectuals on the question of race today.
Well, I think that the main issue that we need to think about is that there is a tacit sense, and it's these tacit senses that are the hardest to deal with because nobody's thinking about them explicitly. But there's a tacit sense that the most significant, the most responsible way of being a Black thinking person is to be dedicated to revealing the operations of racism in the past and the operations of racism today, with a basic message that Black America can't succeed significantly. So, okay, Barack Obama and a few thousand other people, but we can't really succeed, that we can't get past race until there's a vast overturning of social procedure, of the very psychological nature of being an American person. That until those seismic things happen, then to be a Black American person is to be circumscribed by racism to a certain degree. That is a watch cry that's rarely expressed directly, but it is what underlies a great many people's sense of what it is to be a proper Black thinking person now. That wasn't true before roughly the late 1960s, but that was a long time ago, and we live in our own time. So there is diversity among Black people and their thoughts about what it is to be Black and what race should mean and what the significance of racism is. But the fact is that there's a guiding idea that those who are not devoted to smoking out the operations of racism are doing something, I might say, different. I might say heterodox. You're a contrarian. You're doing something where you've got some explaining to do, and quite possibly there's something sinister about you. There must be an agenda. You must be broken psychologically somehow. You must have secret, sinister supporters. All of these are very understandable feelings because we know what we live in. And what we've lived in for the past several generations is the idea that the Black intellectual is somebody who is devoted to revealing racist obstacles. It's very limiting. And what the problem is not simply that it's limiting, because if it were appropriate, then the fact that it was limiting would just be an unfortunate disadvantage. But actually, it holds the race back, because the truth is, there is no reason why people descended from African slaves, for some reason, starting at about the end of the 20th century, were unable to succeed until conditions were something close to perfect. And of course, no one puts it that way, but that is the assumption that we need to turn everything upside down before anything can happen. No one, even Black, expected that before roughly 1966. And it's getting to the point where it's hard for people to even imagine that to be properly Black is to think any other way. So there are people like me who are trying to think beyond that, but we have to always be on our guard. We have to constantly we are constantly attacked. We are constantly asked very, very probing and very suspicious questions. We're thought of as different. I'm hoping we can get past that, because I would like there to be a time when thought on racism extended from the hard left to the hard right, and the person on the hard right wasn't made to feel like some sort of freakazoid, and the people like me who are in the middle would not be chased around and thought of as brave, etc. It should really be that there's a wide range of opinion instead of this very narrow and frankly unimaginative and even harmful idea that the proper watch cry of Black America is, yes, we can't. That what your job is to get out and tell a story of why we can't. That's not the way any group has ever gotten ahead in the history of humankind, and there is nothing different about now that justifies it or excuses it.